First Contact Fiasco. High Ambassador Vexthor of the Meridian Empire stood aboard the bridge of the Celestial Dominance, his crystalline ceremonial armor catching the light of Earth's sun. This was to be his crowning achievement, the subjugation of yet another primitive world into the Empire's ever-expanding domain. His tentacles twitched with anticipation as he reviewed the carefully crafted speech one final time. "My lord," his assistant Kretil interrupted, "the humans are broadcasting our arrival." "Excellent," Vexthor purred. "They recognize the gravity of this moment." "Not exactly, sir. They're doing something called TikTok Lives and Instagram Stories. One of their social media influences has already given your ship a nickname, Big Shiny Boy." Vexthor's purple complexion darkened. "What? Show me." The main view screen filled with dozens of live feeds. Humans were gathering on rooftops and in parks, many wearing costume versions of what they imagined aliens looked like. Several were dancing and pointing at his ship. One particular human had already created a song about the big shiny boy in the sky that was rapidly gaining what humans called viral status. "Open communications," Vexthor thundered. The screen switched to show what appeared to be a panel of human representatives, or at least he assumed they were representatives. One wore what seemed to be a professional uniform on top, but appeared to be wearing something called pajama pants below. "Greetings, mighty vessel." The apparent leader, a woman with bright blue hair, waved enthusiastically. "I'm Dr. Sarah Chen, Earth's first contact coordinator. Love what you've done with the ship. Very retro-futuristic. We're trending #1 globally right now, by the way. The memes are absolutely fire." Vexthor's tentacles coiled in confusion. This was not how first contact subjugation was supposed to go. "Silence," he commanded, his voice booming through the speakers. "I am High Ambassador Vexthor of the Meridian Empire, and I—" "Oh my God, your voice is perfect for ASMR." Another human interrupted. "Would you be interested in doing a collab? My followers would love it." "I do not collab," Vexthor sputtered. "I am here to demand Earth's immediate surrender to—" "Quick question," Dr. Chen interjected, raising her hand like a student in class. "Do those tentacles make it hard to use touchscreens? We should probably discuss accessibility options if we're going to be working together. Oh, and we've set up a welcome party in Central Park. We've got food trucks representing cuisines from around the world. You absolutely have to try the tacos." Kretil leaned close to Vexthor's audio receptor. "Sir, our cultural analysis systems are completely overwhelmed. They can't keep up with something called trending topics and viral content. The humans appear to be simultaneously taking this very seriously, and not seriously at all." Vexthor's carefully practiced speech about Imperial might crumbled as he watched humans across the planet turn his arrival into what they called content. Someone had already auto-tuned his "I do not collab" outburst into a danceable beat. "Now," Dr. Chen continued cheerfully, "we've prepared a PowerPoint presentation about Earth's cultural highlights. Don't worry, we kept the cat videos to a minimum. Though I still say the one with the cat in a spaceship costume would have been perfect." The cultural confusion. The next morning, Vexthor found himself in what the humans called a conference room within the United Nations building. His tentacles twitched nervously as he observed the bizarre scene before him. Instead of the formal diplomatic proceedings he had expected, the humans had arranged what they called a cultural exchange mixer. "And this," Dr. Chen explained, pointing to a small rectangular device, "is what we call a smartphone. It's basically the center of our civilization." "Your civilization centers around a communication device?" Vexthor asked incredulously, his upper tentacles curling in confusion. "Oh, it's way more than that. Watch this." Dr. Chen quickly tapped the screen a few times. "I just ordered coffee for everyone, liked my cousin's vacation photos, signed a petition to save endangered penguins, and downloaded an app that makes your face look like a cat." Before Vexthor could process this information, his assistant Kretil rushed over, clutching one of these smartphones the humans had gifted to the delegation. Sir, you have to see this. They have something called video games. I just spent an hour moving colored candy around on a screen. It's highly addictive. Kratil, put that primitive device down this instant. We are here to demonstrate the Empire's cultural superiority, not to play with Earth toys. Vexthor straightened his ceremonial armor. It's time for our presentation on the Empire's 10,000 years of artistic achievement. The human delegates settled into their seats, many still tapping away at their devices. Vexthor activated the Empire's most advanced holographic projector, ready to display the magnificent achievements of Imperial culture. Behold, he announced grandly, the Great Symphony of the Seven Moons, composed by our greatest. Hang on, interrupted a young human technician. Your hologram's a bit lighty. Let me just. She pulled out a cable. If we connect it to our Wi-Fi, it should stream better. Do you guys use 5G in space? The Empire does not need your primitive networking technology. Vexthor protested, but it was too late. The technician had already connected his projector to Earth's internet. Oh wow, she exclaimed. Your file format is super compatible with TikTok. Mind if I? Before Vexthor could object, snippets of the Empire's most sacred cultural achievements were being uploaded to something called social media. Within minutes, humans across the planet were adding what they called sick beats to the ancient imperial meditation chants. Sir, Kratil whispered, showing him his phone screen. The Great Symphony has gone viral. Someone added something called a dubstep remix, and actually, it's quite catchy. Vexthor watched in horror as thousands of humans began creating what they called dance challenges to imperial ceremonial movements. The solemn ritual gestures of the imperial court were being performed by humans in their bedrooms, often accompanied by their pets. Oh, this is perfect. Dr. Chen clapped excitedly. Cultural exchange in action. Now let us show you some of our classical art forms. She pulled up a video. This is called a meme. This particular one features a cat that looks grumpy. By the end of the day, Vexthor's carefully planned cultural domination had completely backfired. Half of his junior officers were now obsessed with something called Reddit. 3 of his cultural advisors had started their own YouTube channels, and the Empire's sacred texts were being turned into what humans called copypasta. Look on the bright side, Dr. Chen said cheerfully, patting his third tentacle sympathetically. Your Empire's TikTok account already has 2 million followers, and wait until you see what happens when we introduce your people to cat videos. Vexthor slumped in his chair, watching as Kratil attempted to teach a group of enthusiastic humans the Imperial salute, which they insisted on doing while performing something called the Macarena. Oh, and one more thing, Dr. Chen added, showing him her phone. Your ceremonial armor. It's trending in the fashion community. 3 major designers have already announced tentacle core collections for next season. In the corner, a group of junior Imperial officers were huddled around a screen, giggling at something called SpongeBob memes. Vexthor had a sinking feeling that the Empire's culture would never be the same again. Economic warfare goes wrong. 2 weeks into the first contact situation, High Ambassador Vexthor called an emergency meeting of the Imperial Economic Council. The massive view screen behind him displayed what he considered alarming statistics about Earth's influence on imperial commerce. This is unprecedented. He gestured with his tentacles at the charts. Somehow, these humans have turned our threat of economic isolation into a marketing opportunity. His chief economic advisor, Dalvon, nervously adjusted his spectacles. Sir, it appears the humans have something called influencers. When we announced our trade embargo, they simply started marketing our existing imperial products as exclusive alien imports and limited edition extraterrestrial collectibles. Show me, Vexthor demanded, already dreading what he would see. The screen filled with various social media posts. A human fashion model was posing with a standard issue imperial nutrient pack. The caption reading, OMG. Literally obsessed with this alien superfood. Hashtag space, snacks, hashtag alien aesthetic, hashtag eat like an emperor. The post had millions of likes. That's just a basic military ration. Vex Thor sputtered. They're selling for thousands of their Earth dollars on something called eBay. It gets worse. Dalvan continued, pulling up more data. Remember those maintenance jumpsuits we accidentally left behind during our first landing? Humans are calling them cosmic couture. 3 major fashion houses have already released collections inspired by our utilitarian alien chic. Kretil, who had become disturbingly adept at human social media, chimed in. Sir, you might want to see this. He projected a video showing teenagers across Earth wearing knockoff versions of Vex Thor's ceremonial armor, complete with decorative tentacles. But that's not even the biggest problem, Dalvan added. The humans have started exporting their content to our worlds. Something called cat videos has already crashed the entertainment networks on 3 Imperial core planets. Vex Thor watched in dismay as another screen showed Imperial citizens attempting something called TikTok dances. How did they even get access to our networks? Apparently, sir, Kretil explained. Looking slightly embarrassed, one of our junior communications officers traded our entire network encryption key for something called a premium Netflix subscription. This is outrageous. Vex Thor's tentacles writhed in agitation. We're supposed to be isolating them, not becoming obsessed with their media. About that, sir, Dalvan pulled up another chart. Our attempt to restrict Earth's access to galactic trade routes had an unexpected effect. Humans have started offering what they call influencer marketing workshops to other species. 3 previously hostile alien races have already signed peace treaties with Earth in exchange for something called verified badges on their social media accounts. The situation had spiraled completely out of control. Imperial citizens were now demanding Earth-style fast food restaurants. Imperial fashion designers were incorporating human memes into their formal wear. And someone had even created a dating app for humans and aliens called Vzender. Sir, Kretil interrupted his thoughts. Dr. Chen is requesting a meeting. She says it's about something called a brand collaboration between the Empire and something called Supreme. What's Supreme? Vex Thor asked weakly. I don't know, sir, but apparently the waiting list is already 3 million humans long, and they're willing to pay in gold-pressed latinum. Vex Thor slumped in his chair, watching as another screen showed Imperial teenagers lining up to buy something called Earth vintage clothing, at prices that could have funded a small war fleet. Oh, and one more thing, Dalvan added hesitantly. Remember those intimidating recruitment posters for our Imperial fleet? Humans have turned them into something called Lofi study beats to conquer the galaxy too. It's actually quite soothing. In the corner of the room, a group of Imperial economists were huddled around a screen, eagerly watching something called Shark Tank and taking notes on human business practices. Sir, Kretil approached cautiously. Should I tell Dr. Chen you'll take the meeting about the brand collaboration? Vex Thor looked at the latest economic projections, which showed Earth's cultural exports generating more revenue than the entire Imperial mining sector. Fine, he sighed. But please tell me she's not bringing another influencer with her. Actually, sir, Kretil looked at his phone. She's bringing someone called Kim Kardashian. Apparently, she wants to launch a line of tentacle care products. The military demonstration. High Admiral Zexkar of the Imperial fleet stood on the bridge of the inevitable doom, the Empire's most fearsome warship. After the disasters of cultural exchange and economic warfare, the military had convinced Vex Thor that a show of overwhelming force was needed. Surely, even these irritatingly cheerful humans would tremble before the might of the Imperial Armada. Status report, Zexkar commanded, his cybernetic eye glowing ominously. Sir, his tactical officer responded, the fleet is in position, but there seems to be some unusual activity on Earth's surface. Unusual how? The humans are tailgating. Sir, They're what? The main screen showed crowds of humans gathering in parks and open spaces worldwide, setting up chairs and something called BBQ grills. Many were wearing t-shirts with slogans like, "I watched the alien invasion, and all I got was this lousy t-shirt," and "Earth Defense Force." Tailgate Division. "Sir," the communications officer interrupted, "we're receiving a transmission from Dr. Chen." The now familiar face of Earth's first contact coordinator appeared on screen, wearing what appeared to be a replica of Imperial military armor, but in hot pink. "Hi there. Love the fleet formation. Very intimidating. Quick question. Would you mind if we lit-streamed this? We've got some awesome drone cameras ready for the best angles." "This is not a social media event," Zexkar thundered. "This is a demonstration of Imperial military might." "Oh, totally get that. That's why we've arranged viewing parties globally. We've even got commentators ready, like a sports event. The betting pools are getting pretty interesting too. Most people think you'll start with the traditional Imperial attack pattern, but there's good money on you guys trying something new." Zexkar's cybernetic eye twitched. "Begin the demonstration." Launch fighters. Squadrons of Imperial fighters swooped toward Earth in perfect formation. Instead of panic, this was met with oohs and ahs from the crowds below, as if they were watching fireworks. "Sir," his tactical officer said hesitantly, "the humans are rating our fighters' performances. They've created something called a Space Force Fashion Police TikTok account. Your flagship is currently trending as Best Dressed Death Machine 2025. On Earth, humans were treating the whole thing like a festival. Food trucks were doing brisk business, children were waving at the fighter squadrons with toy lightsabers, and someone had started a wave in Central Park that was spreading globally via social media. Launch the Planet Cracker Beam," Zexkar ordered desperately. The inevitable doom's main weapon powered up, its ominous green glow reflecting off Earth's atmosphere. This had to inspire fear, right? "Sir," the communications officer interrupted again. "The humans are saying our weapon's charging effect would make an excellent backdrop for their selfies. They're calling it the galaxy's biggest ring light." Ring light. Zexkar's organic eye twitched to match his cybernetic one. "And Dr. Chen is asking if we could hold the beam for about 3 minutes. Apparently some influencers want to film their morning yoga routine with it." The situation deteriorated further when several Imperial fighter pilots requested permission to land, officially to intimidate the locals up close, but suspiciously close to where the food trucks were parked. "Sir," the tactical officer's voice was panicked now, "our crews are picking up something called Wi-Fi from Earth. Half the fleet is trying to download something called Instagram to upload their battle formation photos." Zexkar watched in horror as discipline crumbled across his fleet. Imperial gunners were taking selfies at their posts. Fighter pilots were attempting to string their flights for their new Earth followers, and someone had started a ship-wide dance challenge. "Oh my God," Dr. Chen's voice came through again. "Your cybernetic eye is everything. Have you considered starting a makeup tutorial channel? The smoky eye possibilities are endless." The final straw came when his own flagship's AI requested to join something called LinkedIn to network with other advanced artificial intelligences. "Sir," his first officer approached cautiously, "several crew members are asking if we could delay the invasion until after something called Taco Tuesday. Apparently, it's a big deal." Zexkar slumped in his command chair, watching as Earth's social media feeds filled with memes about his fleet's aesthetic. Someone had even created a dating profile for the inevitable doom, and it was getting more matches than him. The Empire's surrender. 1 month after the failed military demonstration, High Ambassador Vexthor stood before the Imperial Grand Council on their throne world, trying to explain how everything had gone so terribly wrong. His tentacles drooped with exhaustion as he faced the assembled Imperial leadership, though he noticed several council members were suspiciously focused on their newly acquired smartphones under the table. To summarize, Vexthor said, his voice heavy with defeat. Our attempts to subjugate Earth have resulted in the following. Our sacred cultural traditions have become viral dance trends. Our military technology has been turned into social media props, and our economic threats have somehow made us dependent on human influencer marketing. Don't forget the merchandising deals, Curtil helpfully added, now sporting an Earth-style business suit with tentacle-accommodating sleeves. The Imperial Aesthetic clothing line is projected to generate more revenue than 5 core worlds combined. The Grand Emperor himself leaned forward on his throne, his ceremonial robes rustling. This is most disturbing. Perhaps we should consider more dramatic measures. Your Majesty. A junior aide burst into the chamber, violating about 12 different Imperial protocols. You have to see this. Earth just dropped a new TikTok filter that lets anyone look like they're wearing your ceremonial crown, and it's absolutely fire. The Emperor's eyes widened. Show me, he commanded, forgetting his earlier threat. Vexthor watched in resignation as the most powerful being in the galaxy spent the next 10 minutes trying different angles to get the perfect crown pick for his newly created Instagram account. Sir, Curtil whispered, checking his phone. Dr. Chen is requesting to address the council. Something about a collaborative opportunity. Before Vexthor could object, the central hologram activated, and Dr. Chen's cheerful face appeared before the council. She was wearing a perfect replica of imperial diplomatic robes, though somehow she'd made them look trendy. Hi everyone. Quick update. We've been thinking about this whole submission to the Empire thing, and we have a counter-proposal. How about instead of conquering us, we help you modernize your brand? Our brand? The Emperor asked, momentarily looking up from his Instagram filters. Exactly. Look, your whole ancient and mighty empire thing is great, very retro-chic, but it needs some updating. We're thinking, the empire, where tradition meets TikTok. We've already got some major Earth corporations interested in partnerships. How do you feel about emperors? The council chamber erupted in excited murmurs. Vexthor could see several council members already downloading the proposal to their tablets. Plus, Dr. Chen continued, we got some ideas about democratizing your imperial ceremonies. Imagine imperial TikTok challenges where citizens across the galaxy can participate in traditional rituals from their homes. We're calling it Empire from Home. This is absurd, Vexthor protested. We can't just turn thousands of years of imperial tradition into content, Dr. Chen suggested helpfully. Because we already did. Check your space Twitter. The council members all pulled out their devices simultaneously. The Imperial Anthem had just gone viral as a remix, complete with a dance challenge that was spreading across the galaxy faster than Imperial ships could travel. The Emperor himself was nodding along to the beat. This is surprisingly catchy. Oh, and one more thing, Dr. Chen added with a smile. We noticed your empire doesn't have any presence in the gaming industry. We've got this little company called Microsoft that's very interested in discussing something called Xbox Game Pass, Imperial Edition. 2 hours later, Vexthor stood in stunned silence as the Emperor signed what was technically a surrender document, but had been rebranded as a collaborative influencer agreement with Earth. The humans had managed to conquer the Empire without firing a single shot. They'd just made Imperial culture go viral instead. Look on the bright side, Curtil said, showing him something on his phone. Your exasperated tentacle gestures have become quite the popular reaction gif. Oh, and you've been nominated for Most Meme-Able Alien Ambassador 2025. Vexthor looked out at the Imperial capital, where citizens were already lining up at the first Emperor's location. A group of young Imperials walked by, all attempting to copy the latest Earth dance trends while wearing t-shirts that read, "May the likes be with you." Dr. Chen sends her regards. Curtil added, she's wondering if you'd be interested in co-hosting a podcast called That Alien Diplomat. Apparently, your cynical take on human culture has quite the following. In the distance, a massive holoscreen displayed the Empire's new official slogan, "Like and subscribe to Galactic Unity." Below it, the Emperor himself was attempting to do something called a cosmic floss dance, live-streamed across all Imperial worlds. The mighty Meridian Empire had finally met its match, not in warfare, diplomacy, or economics, but in humanity's ability to turn absolutely anything into viral content. And somehow, that was a far more effective form of conquest than any weapon could have been. "Sir," Kretil interrupted his thoughts one final time. "About that podcast offer. They're offering to pay in something called cryptocurrency." Vexthor's tentacles drooped in defeat. "Fine," he sighed. "But I'm not doing any unboxing videos." "Of course not, sir," Kretil agreed, already typing on his phone. "Those are so 2024. We're thinking more like React videos. Alien Edition." And so, the greatest empire in the galaxy finally surrendered, not with a bang, but with a trending hashtag. The end.